Well, what a pleasure. I'm now joined by Justin Marlowe and Mindy Connor. Well, first of all, thank you both very much indeed for joining us today. Really appreciate that. So let's get into the heart of the subject. So municipal bonds, past, present and future. Tell us a little bit about what you came up with in that paper.
Sure. We looked at a couple different dimensions of the municipal bond market. The main question that we wanted to get at was how much does the tax exemption that the federal government provides for municipal bonds, how much does that save state and local governments when they go out to do major infrastructure projects? And we came up with a number, a big number, about $750 billion was the main number. So in that, by subsidizing the way that state and local governments pay for roads, bridges, sewers, makes those projects more affordable, makes it easier for local governments to do those kinds of projects. So that was really the main focus of the study, was how much does that save and how does that affect the way that states and local governments do their capital financing?
That's a good thing for local government, right? And what did your paper suggest is the way forward here? What were you thinking were some of the things that should be implemented or to improve the situation?
Sure. There were two main conclusions. I mean, one of the questions that we wanted to look at was, if not the municipal bond market, then what? Is there an alternative way of thinking about how we pay for these kinds of major infrastructure projects? We looked at a bunch of different potential alternatives, and in certain areas, there's definitely some potential revenue streams, some potential grants, some potential ways that we can look at paying for these projects a little differently. But the key is that those are in specific areas, in very particular areas. So the main conclusion with regard to where we go from here was that the tax-exempt municipal bond market, as we have it today, really is, although imperfect, the best tool that we have available to continue to finance these kinds of projects.
We live in interesting times, don't we? Because infrastructure and paying for infrastructure in the US right now is a very big political topic, isn't it? And at the same time, the role of local government is getting ever more important. So how vital is it for America that local government is involved in building infrastructure?
It's terribly important, and this. We all knew that the impact with the tax exempt was huge, but we couldn't quantify it, and that's why this study is so important to local governments, because it gives us a number that is credible that we can take and explain to people. And so having this kind of research done on a real life issue is a huge thing. I think very important work that ICMA is doing.
So who would ICMA be targeting with this work? Who do you want this news to get out to?
We want it to go to state and federal lawmakers, and then also our local governments, our boards and councils, so we can explain, what the issue is. A lot of them are very well informed, but some of them don't understand it, and so having this kind of tool that explains it so well is terribly important.
It's a difficult challenge. I mean, we're talking about these abstract ideas about financial markets and tax exemptions and tax policy, but at the end of the day, it's really about streets and sidewalks and roads, and so making sure that that information is in front of decision makers and in front of citizens really is a big challenge, and something that the paper is designed to do.
Well, thank you both very much indeed for sharing that with us. I appreciate it, and best of luck with that for the future. Thank you.